Erin O'Toole loses Conservative Party leadership in vote by MPs. Conservative leader Erin O'Toole lost his bid to stay as party leader on Wednesday after elected members of parliament voted him out 73 to 45. The Conservative Party released a statement that 119 MPs attended the virtual caucus meeting where the vote took place. A vote will be held later on Wednesday for an interim leader. Keep it here for updates. I like that Erin O'Toole. And I like this headshot of Erin O'Toole. The side profile of Mr. O'Toole. I like it. I like it. It's very historic. And I like his figure. He isn't as skinny as I had thought he was of. Which is not a bad thing. That is something, you can see the presentable chin. I love a presentable chin. And actually, when I shave my face, I look much like that. You have well, actually, mine's a little bit different. I'm a little bit more pronounced in my chin and whatnot, but it should be shaved now where I can show you whatnot. But it's Erin O'Toole's time right now. But it's going to sound a lot like how the American politics or whatnot in the media, they were talking about, well, when they did their voting and all that, what is it secure or whatnot? They did it virtually. They didn't do it in person at Parliament Hill. It was done virtually where they made this big decision. Oh, he resigned as the leader while they vote to replace him, as they voted to replace him. O'Toole speaks after being voted out.
So this happened this afternoon, just moments ago. The Conservative Party caucus voting Erin O'Toole out as leader of the federal Conservatives. 73 Conservative MPs voted to replace O'Toole as head of the party. 45 endorsed his leadership. Party members met virtually to cast secret ballots after about 1/3 of them signed a notice to trigger a leadership review. O'Toole's removal comes after he angered members of caucus with his stances on climate change and gun control, as well as the party's lackluster performance in the last election. So for more on this, we're going live to Adrienne Batra. She's the editor-in-chief of the Toronto Sun. Great to have your time on such a breaking news story, Adrienne. How would you characterize what's happened?
Well, thank you very much for having me on. Pretty incredible and extraordinary last 24 hours, to be sure. The description I would have is, here we go again. The Conservatives, once again, giving more ammunition to the Liberals to continue on their leadership in this country. The Conservatives need to figure out exactly who they are. You know, that it's being called a civil war, a battle for the soul of the party. All of these sorts of things can all be true. But ultimately, they need to have a leader that is able to thread together all the varying factions who make up the Conservative Party, everything from libertarians to social conservatives to fiscal conservatives to progressives, that all vote for a Conservative Party, but the leader needs to be strong, consistent, and effective. And today, they did not feel that that was going to be Erin O'Toole.
And those different kinds of Conservatives you described there, can they all be united behind one leader? Is it possible?
Well, Stephen Harper did it, and Brian Mulroney did before him. And I know there were different incarnations of what the party was under, of course, Mulroney is Progressive Conservative Party of Canada, and under Prime Minister Harper, it was a united Conservative Party with Peter MacKay coming to the table with the PC Party. So there is an ability to do that. Other conservative political leaders around the world have had to do that. There is also a reality that the party is going to have to face, particularly.
What are they going to do next? Try to belittle our... Well, I know what they try to do. That's just cardboard, she says, or buy some more textiles. That'll be the next one. They're pushing everybody to get buy more textiles. They did that to me back in 2012. Clothes. And I ain't falling for this go around. Erin O'Toole ain't even in the same age group as me. I'm 28 years old. Let's see how old Erin O'Toole is. I've heard this age group, these older ones, be in competition with me, who's not even a running person. 49. So he is 21 years older than me. 21 years. I'm fairly sure I can get a overcoat with a dress shirt and a tie in 21 years. But I liked Erin O'Toole. And I still do, and he'll stay around. But I had an Erin O'Toole fan or something like that who happened to be a very high authority sort of abused me. Named Judith Esposito. You wouldn't be able to pull her up because Erin O'Toole, maybe people like him are the only ones that can represent such a poor person like her. But from what I've heard is Erin O'Toole, and they say we don't represent her. Her attempted murder charge and whatnot is her and her only. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want to get wrapped up in her legalities because she's got a court appearance coming very soon where she'll be definitely prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But as of now, it's became so dangerous that they've put my case in limbo because of her threatening with her firearm, and all that. She said she was going to kill me, kill my family. She's serious. She's really shot it multiple times. She said she's threatened the judges, said she was going to kill the judges, shoot them to death. She's threatened members of our community. I sat in here 17 times. 17 times I waited the number to be called to pay my restitution. Then they tried to kill me on the 18th month. Was that the whole government or was that just the individual person that's being charged? Because I paid $800, sat in this line, sat here with all the people. For 17 months I went to this courthouse. And on my 18th month, final month of probation, she tried to murder me. Judith Esposito, Brampton Probation and Parole, and her husband. The police force won't take me to jail. They've even been threatened by this one. Even our higher-ups like Justin, who's just a normal guy, his family's in jeopardy because of this Espanyol gang with roots to El Chapo and Griselda Blanco. You've heard the name El Chapo more. This is how I want to take Judith Esposito, just like this, where you have her by the neck and everything. She's just like that. She would look good like that, with the hand on the neck, holding her neck. She's much like a young Griselda Blanco, but skinnier and more sexually attractive than Griselda. But she actually looks she'll look exactly like Griselda. She's like modern day Griselda Blanco in Canada. Griselda Blanco #2, but her name is Judith Esposito. She's very hard to find. But she's all over Brampton, and you can find her at 5 Clover Bloom Road. She's yet to be prosecuted. She's much younger than a Griselda, but she looks sort of like this in this mugshot here. She's an undocumented immigrant that somehow frauded her way into being a probation officer at Brampton. I don't know how much longer she'll be working over there, but hopefully not too long. I feel like the whole community is unsafe. I used to love taking the family over to Heritage Fish and Chips. Riccio, Grimbley, Long Bottom, Scarpelli. I used to love taking everybody over there. How about Pennington's for my Auntie Carolyn? Swiss Chalet, me and Kim. You know, Red Lobster, all these great places. Tim Hortons, going over to Timmy's. But the streets are unsafe as long as that Judith Esposito is living. Same, or I want to send them to Guantanamo Bay. How do you spell it? And it's not a joke either. Guantanamo Bay. Because she finds these ones very attractive. She thinks that these hard, real frickin' scum terrorists, she thinks these are the guys that should be rewarded. She thinks that these are the guys that deserve life in Canada, in the United States. And that's not it. And I want her to suffer with these men because she's gone that far with her promotion of this nature that when I grew up and see these pictures, when I grew up and I see these pictures, it just disgusts me. Yeah, and they look just like these ones. I had to stab one of these guys' eye out, eh? He was smiling. This is before they ever were captured. I know ones that see these ones are they've been captured and whatnot. But I had to deal with one that was an uncaptured one. He home invaded me, smiled right in my face, eh? And was about to hurt me. And it's the only person I ever stabbed in his eye, I tell you that much, but I stabbed him right in the eye. And his smile went away. And he don't smile retardedly at people the way he used to smile retardedly at people, like he was some sexual deviant guy that I was supposed to be scared of as a little white boy or something. I grew up, and I'll tell you what, a lot of our ones, well, I don't give a damn what color they are, a lot of ones, they grow bigger. I know ones that used to be kids too, and they're just like this guy now. I wanted to show kids growing bigger, but yeah, it can happen. That happens with me sometimes, believe it or not. I'm like, not only am I anti-drugs and whatnot, but and all these other ones, but I'm also anti-terrorist. A lot of terrorists have been targeting me because they think I'm still a little kid. I don't know what it is. So if I could get a collaboration with the military, we could get all these people scoped out and taken out. We'll see how it goes with her. But other than that, Egypt military soldier salute. We have a Canadian military guy, and we have another Canadian military guy. I'm not sure. Are they in Egypt? I've never been overseas. And nor have I ever swarmed a beach like that. But I've seen these guys a couple times. Yeah. But they're definitely not the enemy to me. It's the other guys that are the enemy. I'll show you what the enemies look like. This guy, some of them aren't too bad. Actually, some of them can look just like this, but these guys used to come at me, and they're not coming at me as much anymore. And I sort of won over some of them. I won over some of them, but nobody's messing with me anymore. But you know, I've had the most trouble with is guys that look like that have been cool with me. I don't know. I can't even pick up the guy's picture because he doesn't exist really. Type of guy. He's like this big bird or whatever. Yeah, big bird. Okay, he was the big bird. I've seen Big Bird a couple times. And when they go to the hospital, they would say that to me. You're going to see the Big Bird. And I'd conk right out. The next thing I know, I'd wake up in a room. Big Bird. Or these guys, actually. I've had a couple of things run in with these guys. I'll show you what kind of ones. Groups of them, groups of them. When they get in groups sometimes, they get you in a corner. Not, you can't find any pictures of these ones either. Because these ones are evil criminals. They won't have pictures. When you're an evil criminal, you don't have pictures. Or you don't want pictures. These ones you can't even find pictures of, some of them. Anyways.